Have you ever wondered how the objects that you see in everyday life are created? Seemingly ordinary things, but in fact their production is a complex technical process that requires a lot of knowledge in the field of physics, chemistry, and even biology. Hello, this is a new episode of the Made in Kazakhstan project. My name is Anton Fedorov, and today I will tell you how Kazakhstan's manufacturers create products that we need so much in our daily life. Watch in today's episode. These products are used in almost every Kazakh family that has made repairs in an apartment at least once. What are self-leveling floors made of? Polypropylene bags. How can this soft container withstand up to 5 tons? Corn. How does this grain get into sweets, paper, and glue? So I came to an enterprise that has been producing items for high-quality repairs or construction for more than 25 years. If you want to level the walls or ceilings or make self-leveling floors, then you will need the products of this plant: dry building mixtures. This modern factory has long history of formation. An abandoned plant was located on this place 25 years ago. But a group of people decided to breathe new life into the old enterprise and build a plant for the production of dry building mixtures. The history of our company begins in the mid-90s, quite a challenging period of time for our country. Just at this moment, the term renovation was firmly entrenched in our everyday life. And this became the idea for the production of dry building mixtures that would compete on the market with leading European analogs. The term Euro standard renovation means renovation made with high-quality building materials. When Kazakhstan introduced the production of such materials, most of the population was able to improve the living conditions. It was possible to make repairs with high-quality materials, but it was very expensive for an average Kazakhstan citizen. We managed to offer good products, and probably the main advantage is that we maintain high quality in the products manufacturing over 25 years. Self-leveling floors, smooth walls, cladding require special materials that will not deteriorate over time, are practical to use, and have an inexpensive cost. So how are dry building mixtures produced at this plant? The production of dry building mixtures starts from here. This is a special railway dead end where raw materials are shipped: sand, marble flour, gypsum, cement. About 500 tons of these components are shipped here every day, so that in the future they will turn into a beautiful flat floor, walls, or ceiling. Upon arrival, the raw materials are delivered to the warehouse. Hundreds of tons of components for future building mixtures are stored here. Raw materials and finished products should be stored in certain conditions. That is, warehouse managers make the necessary moisture measurements and then adjust the accumulations in the warehouse. Such components of dry building mixtures as gypsum, cement, or marble flour can react with water. Therefore, they are stored in a special closed warehouse where a certain level of temperature and humidity is maintained so that these components do not react on their own. Before processing raw materials, laboratory specialists check each component. Gypsum, sand, cement, marble flour should not contain an unacceptable amount of moisture. since when mixing there may be too much water in the future flooring material, affecting the quality of the repair. Here, all components that are used for the production of dry building mixtures go through a full check. Firstly, raw materials should undergo verification process. It is tested on high-quality equipment from European manufacturers. Our company uses strictly verified equipment that meets all the standards required for testing raw materials, chemical additives, and subsequently finished products. As soon as each ingredient of the future building mixture has been tested, the laboratory specialists knead the complements to obtain a test version of the product, and then they check its characteristics. We fill in these samples. Perhaps this is a future floor or a future wall. Through this, we determine the strength characteristics of a given product, we determine its adhesion to the base, its strength characteristics in fracture and compression. Once the materials and product samples have passed all the tests, the next stage of production begins. On special conveyors, raw materials get into huge silos. All this is controlled by the operator. His task is to load the required parameters and volumes into the program and launch the process. Further, raw materials are supplied to the plant for the production of mixtures, where we have installed European equipment, which gives us the accuracy of dosing of chemical additives and raw materials, other components, as well as mixing time for each product. And now, when the proportions have already been determined, the operator gives the command for the production of the future dry mortar. All this happens here, in this special mixer. This is a new equipment, so to speak, modern, environmentally friendly, it is completely safe. This mixer is processing future dry construction mixtures. The capacity of such a unit is more than 20 tons of products per hour. All the ingredients of future products turn into dust in such units. The question arises, how does the enterprise cope with possible emissions of dust particles into the atmosphere? It should be noted that this enterprise is located in a residential area. Therefore, very strict environmental safety requirements are imposed on it. Special filters are installed here at the plant, which capture dust and exclude the possibility of producing any harmful emissions into the atmosphere. When the product is ready, it goes to such a packaging machine. Dry mixes are packed in bags weighing 25 kilograms. Each bag goes along this conveyor belt. Special scales are installed here, which record the weight of the bag. If there is a little difference, the machine removes this bag from the conveyor line and gives a signal for further calibration of the amount of dry building mixtures in one package. The same bags that have been packed are sent to storage warehouses, from where they will be taken to supermarkets, markets, shops, and construction sites. We represent Kazakhstan. We represent quality. We are constantly waiting for feedback from consumers, which is so far very positive. Our suppliers of chemical additives come to us and test our product. After the test, they are surprised that thanks to the balanced components, we're able to achieve such a high quality.
Сбалансированности компонентов мы смогли добиться такого высокого качества.
The enterprise even sums up statistics on product consumption. According to the analysts of the plant, materials from this production are used in 7 out of 10 apartments in Kazakhstan. The products are sold in Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Russia, and Tajikistan. Our company has a full production cycle, from mining to finished products, already at the construction site. We are proud to represent Kazakhstan becoming a visiting card in international markets, because our products regularly participate in exhibitions and competitions and receive prizes and golden medals for quality. Therefore, for example, when we participate somewhere in an exhibition abroad, we say that our products are made in Kazakhstan, and we're glad that we can promote the brand of our country. At the final stage of production, bags with products are packed in special polyethylene. This is necessary to prevent water from getting into the mixes if stored outdoors. Then they will be ready to decorate the houses of people. With such materials, renovation can be a joy. Surely you have repeatedly seen products packed in such bags in stores or markets. It can be sugar, flour, various kinds of cereals, chemical products, cement, crushed stone, in general, anything you like. And the demand for such products is very high. But have you ever wondered how these bags are made? They are made from polypropylene, and their production is a very complex technological process. A polypropylene bag in a household is an invisible but irreplaceable thing. You cannot transport, store, and contain anything without it. Such a bag has proven its value over tens of years of tests, and time has shown that the demand for polypropylene bags is only growing every year. Polypropylene bags as a product have a number of significant advantages. They do not require special storage conditions, do not rot, withstand a sharp drop in temperature, compactly fold, do not take up much space, do not deteriorate by insects, and, which is important, have a low-cost price. The idea to produce polypropylene bags appeared in 1996. At that time, Kazakhstan could enter export markets with a very small range of products. One of these goods was flour. You know, Kazakhstan today is one of the 5 countries in the world for the production of flour. Flour, of course, should be packed. So what is the package? The cheapest option is a polypropylene bag. The plant where these household assistants are produced witnessed several stages of development. The enterprise began as a small workshop, but the demand for products was always very high, so the need to expand production became more urgent. You saw that Chinese bags flooded our market. First of all, they are made from recycled materials, and they are not suitable for food products. They emit, let's say, all sorts of toxic things that are not suitable for food. Based on this, we began to consider the equipment. Initially, we had Chinese equipment. We started out like everyone else. Then we got stronger. At first, we produced 500,000 bags a month, then 1.5 million. So we went to a higher rank and bought Taiwanese equipment. And now, for the last 15 years, we have been equipped with only European equipment. Polypropylene is used as a raw material for the production of bags. This synthetic polymer is a petrochemical product, and today it is widely used in various industries. The production of bags begins with melting the polypropylene in a special apparatus. At a temperature of about 160 degrees, polypropylene turns into a liquid, thick mass. Then this mass is rolled into a very thin sheet, which is cooled here on the conveyor and cut into thin threads. If it is necessary to impart certain properties of the thread, special strength, color, light fastness, then certain elements are added. After that, a thread is made. The finished yarn is transferred to the weaving area. The fabric is made at the weaving department. These large looms are weaving fabric from polypropylene yarns. Each type of future bag has its own weaving technology that affect the strength of the fabric. Each order is carried out strictly according to the technical requirements of the client. When the polypropylene yarns have already been woven into fabric, this fabric goes to the workshop where it turns into a soft container. This fabric is marked and branded. It will store different things: flour, sugar, sulfur for oil production, even dog food. This is a special batch of bags for the United Nations humanitarian aid. White flour will be shipped in these 50-kilogram bags all over the world. The work in this facility does not stop for a minute. The entire plant works around the clock in 3 shifts. At each stage of production, specialists monitor the quality of products. During the process, the bag should endure the weight and keep contents inside. Of course, we have a technical control department at each site. There are special people who are responsible for checking. We have our own laboratories that carry out different types of measurements. At the final stage, we have certain people who count the bags again, look through and pack them. Then the bags go to the warehouse, from where they are already shipped to the client. This plant employs approximately 400 people, ensuring all conditions for them to work in comfort. It's even hard to believe that such a large-scale production came from a small workshop. The plant is the largest in Central Asia. I have not seen factories in Russia that would produce 5 million bags a month. We make 62 million bags a year, from a 5-kilogram bag to 5 tons ones. Our bags are intended for food products, some feed, chemistry. In addition, we are engaged in the manufacture of big bags, which are used for cement. Enriched ore is transported in them. We follow all necessary standards. We have gone through all the necessary processes and checks, so that any product in our bags can be packed, transferred, or stored. Now I have come to another stage of production. This is a workshop for making big bags. It looks like this. It is about 2 meters long and consists of a very dense fabric. It is marked 900 kilograms, but it can withstand a much greater weight, up to about 1.5 tons. In general, such big bags can hold up to 5 tons. It's also a real engineering marvel because the fabric is heat resistant. If substances with these self-heating properties, like cement or bitumen, is stored in such a big bag, then the big bag will not melt, and this fabric can withstand temperatures up to 150 degrees. Big bag looks like a huge bag with handles. This is a soft container for packaging bulk building materials, vegetables, fruits and other food products, agricultural products, spare parts. Almost everything can be transferred and stored in this bag. It is lightweight, compact, durable and easy to use. To meet the requirements of our customers, we had to go through the appropriate certification procedures. Therefore, we have all certificates in accordance with all quality standards. It is a huge responsibility when you see bags with a Made in Kazakhstan inscription in Uzbekistan, Tajikistan or Turkmenistan. So I came to an enterprise where starch and molasses are produced from corn. This plant was built practically from scratch, but today it features an ultra-modern production line that produces 29 types of corn products.
9 видов продукции из кукурузы.
To obtain such a range of products, the plant has high-tech equipment. People who have completed a special course can work with such a complex machinery. For this, the plant has provided a training center that teaches future employees of the enterprise. We train through the employment center for the unemployed. After completing a 3-month training, people get a job here at our factory. We teach those specialties that we need at the plant. Corn is a real grain gold. What is the value of this product? Corn kernels contain many beneficial micronutrients, protein, gluten, and many other nutrients. The actual production of corn starch and molasses at the enterprise begins with the delivery of grain to the factory.
На завод. Вот здесь пункт приема.
Here is the reception point. But before entering the production line, the corn grain is thoroughly tested in a special laboratory. The company checks the quality of corn. First of all, moisture should not exceed 30%. Otherwise, it will complicate the production process, or the company simply will not accept such products.
Такую продукцию.
Every day, this plant receives about 2,500 tons of corn grain. After checking in the laboratory, the grain goes to the drying workshop. Here it is sifted, cleaned of extra particles, and then enters these huge silos. The grain enters the production line at the command of the operator, who inserts the necessary parameters for processing into a special program. The first product that comes out, look, this is bran.
Это отруби, это мезга.
And this is pulp. What is this? This is a corn husk.
Кукуруза замачивается.
The corn is first soaked, then crushed and separates. Say the pulp is the shell of the corn. The extract is added here. All this is dried, then crushed. This is one of the products. This is food. Corn processing is a very complex multi-stage process. Corn grain is almost completely processed by 98%. Nothing is left of it.
Практически ничего.
Here, look. This is a corn shell. It's like the peel that gets stuck in your teeth when you eat corn. It also goes to production.
Застревает в зубах, когда вы кушаете кукурузу.
In general, corn kernels are separated by special chemical, physical, and biological reactions into 6 different parts.
Специальных химических, биологических и физических реакций.
And then, useful substances are extracted from each of these parts through production. This machine produces gluten by pressing.
А вот этот аппарат при помощи прессования выдает глютен.
After mechanical processing, corn grain is subjected to chemical processing. With the help of certain reactions, such milk is released from corn. It contains one of its main products. Our main product is starch. Well, you see, it's a white powder. So what is starch? Starch is used almost everywhere. For example, this is the shell of the same medicines. If there were no starch, you would have drunk the medicine in powder form, right? It is a shell. For example, this is our food industry. The same sauce, the same ketchup, or, for example, mayonnaise. It would not have been that consistency if it were not for the starch.
Он бы не был той консистенции, если бы не было крахмала.
Corn starch has a very wide range of uses. It is used not only in the food industry. We produce two types of starch, food starch and industrial starch. Technical starch is the manufacture of paper. The more, as they say, starch, the wider the paper. This is the entire cardboard industry. These are boxes. This is glue. This is, for example, the same laminate where starch is used. It's just starch. In general, there are 160 types of modified starch in the world. What is modified starch? Modified starch is the starch that is produced specifically for a narrow production. Previously, we produced modified starch, for example, for the oil industry. They added it to the drilling fluid to prevent the borehole walls from collapsing. The second main product that is produced from corn in this enterprise is molasses. It is a natural substitute for sugar. Molasses is a transparent, viscous liquid similar in consistency to honey. The advantage of sugar is that it is easier to transport. It can be in bags and so on. But the disadvantages of sugar are that you have to make syrup out of it, clean it, bring it to the desired consistency, and so on. Then what is sugar? This is glucose, this is maltose, this is dextrin, and so on. We produce exactly what is needed for each production facility. Let's say if it's caramel, then we release more glucose. If brewers need more maltose, we do it. There is a special laboratory for this. It monitors at every stage, and at release, it looks at the carbohydrate composition, and then a certain type of molasses is released. After processing, all products obtained from corn go to the laboratory. Here they are checked for all the necessary parameters, and a conclusion is issued for further use. Laboratory specialists monitor the quality of products throughout the entire production cycle. In general, the laboratory can be called the most delicious part of this plant because here you can taste ready-made products from the entire line that is available. Well, it's clear that I won't try starch, germ, gluten, bran, but I'll try glucose, fructose syrup with pleasure.
50% содержания глюкозы, что сейчас мне очень не повредит.
It has over 50% glucose, which won't hurt me a lot right now. This is a very tasty thing. Something in between syrup, honey, and some familiar caramel from childhood. And so, when the experts gave their positive assessment of the product, it is sent to consumers. The products of this enterprise are distinguished, first of all, by their high quality. It can be achieved thanks to modern European equipment, which is installed in production. The plant's products are in demand, not only in the domestic market. We export 65% of our products. We cooperate with Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, China. Now, unfortunately, the borders are closed, but we have a market there. Russia, and so on. If you eat sweets or biscuits in Tajikistan, you will see our molasses inside, of course. This is very nice. Over the 10 episodes of the project, I told you about 30 enterprises in Kazakhstan, but I can confidently conclude that in our country people want and can work, and the state supports them in this, creating special economic zones and facilitating the opening of new innovative industries. Kazakhstan has every chance in the near future to stand on a par with the leading industrial countries of the world. Subscribe to the Kazakh TV channel on YouTube, write comments, like, and do not forget to click on the bell so as not to miss new episodes. It was the Made in Kazakhstan project. My name is Anton Fedorov, and I will see you in the new season on the Kazakh TV.